This is, yeah, this is page number 98. Is the sound on maximum? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Up to what time shall we continue?
Well, I think about
6:50.
yeah, I think we should start the lecture not later than 6:30,
Okay,
and then we've got to fit plus the artist, so we can sing for 15 or 20 minutes.
up to 6:20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question answers and stuff.
That
and
is
then
after
see-
the lecture.
After class.
After class, and then you see some people on Sundays. We've had this tremendous problem that people want to get home early,
Yeah.
so they want early arati, early prashadam. But there will be some who would like to stay on afterwards. So after that prashadam, then we can start again.
So
question and answer.
lecture shall be from 6:30 to 7.
Yeah,
Or 7, right?
yeah,
And then 7 o'clock sharp arti.
yeah. At 7:15 we can squeeze.
Okay,
in
okay.
15
6:30 to 7:15.
minutes.
7:15 arti.
Yes,
And then if anyone has questions, we can take afterwards also.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think that would be the obligation. If people have questions, they want answers to,
Okay.
they should stay behind.
Yeah,
you know.
that's fine.
Yeah, right.
So we will sing from page number 98 of the Vaishnava Songs book. First, we will have the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vamcha Kalpatarubhyascha सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
आप कहरवा ताल में बजाना।
पतितानां
Swami
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's 6:15. Shall we commence the Aarti or shall we sing another bhajan?
I think
I think
I think we should take Tulsi
Tulsi
Aarti
Aarti
now.
and then let us start
Right.
the lecture. Okay.
Right.
Prabhu, she wants to sing one bhajan, small bhajan.
How long? How many minutes?
15.
What?
2 minutes.
Yeah, we have a system to encourage the kids to
Yeah,
sing.
yeah,
So
That's fine. That's
so
fine.
let's have a bhajan.
Very good.
Do you need to play this one?
Make us sit there.
Sing one. Aarti. Sing. One Aarti.
Too many.
Should sit. No, don't sit with the back.
Okay.
Just turn
That's fine.
Swing it around like this. Come and sit this side. Yeah, come.
Take a picture. Very well.
जोर से करना।
गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला, राधे गोविंद गोपी गोपाला, मीरा के नाथ प्रभु गिरधर पाला, गोवर्धन गोपाल बाला, राधे गोविंद गोपी गोपाला, गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला, राधे गोविंद गोपी गोपाला, मीरा के नाथ प्रभु गिरधर पाला, गोवर्धन गोपाल बाला, राधे गोविंद गोपी गोपाला, हरि बोल।
Now we have do we have our choir to do this? Maybe the choir is there? Can you call out the kitchen? They have to sing.
ट्यूसडे को एक ट्यूसडे को हमारी क्लास में शाम को बच्चे के लिए बच्चे को पढ़ाने के लिए
Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasse Cha Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Satyavati Namo Namaha.
Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasse Cha Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Satyavati Namo Namaha.
Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasse Cha Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Satyavati Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasse Cha Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Satyavati Namo Namaha. Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasse Cha Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Satyavati Namo Namaha.
Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasse Cha Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Satyavati Namo Namaha.
Vrindadevi Tulsi Maharani ki
Jai. Namo Namah Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo
Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pranidevi Satyavata Namo Namaha Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pranidevi Satyavata Namo Namaha Vrindaye Tulsidevaye Priyaye Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pranidevi Satyavata Namo Namaha Devi Tulsi Maharani ki Jai. O Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you with his wishes fulfilled, bestowing your mercy on him, you make him a resident of Vrindavan. My desire is that you will also grant me residence in the pleasure groves of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Thus within my vision I shall always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the Kali damsels of Braj. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna praise, may I always swim in the love of Sri Radha and Govinda. Tulsi Maharani ki Jai. Hare Krishna, this is second installment of lecture program that started yesterday over in Chandrasekhara Prabhu's house in Folsom. So we'd like to introduce to you those who are new, Sri Radha Krishna Prabhu, Bhavan, and his father here, Sri Rajasuya. He's a temple president of the ISKCON temple in Ludhiana, Punjab, right?
Yeah.
And so we're very fortunate to have them here. And Radha Krishna Prabhu is very learned in all of the Vaishnava Shastras. And just, you know, we have experience ourselves of studying Bhagavad Gita, which is really the start of our journey into this world of knowledge. But there's much more beyond that. There's Srimad Bhagavatam and all of the teachings of the six Goswamis, which Prabhuji here is referencing, which are very, very important for establishing our philosophical basis of worshipping Krishna and of the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, welcome to Radha Krishna Prabhu, and thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So we will have short Jai Radha Madhav Kirtan.
Ram
जयोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Acharya Varya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki ग्रंथराज श्री भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु की श्री भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु क्लास की युग धर्म श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की समवेत भक्त वृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि
Okay, who is fortune to put him garland?
Good.
Yeah, just block it.
Hare Krishna.
Ajay Prabhu brought his wife Meenakshi Mataji made garland.
At the very onset of present day's discourse, I would like to initially offer my most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of their divine conjugal lordships, Shri Shri Radha and Govinda Dev Ji, along with their eternal transcendental associates such as Shri Lalita Devi, Shri Vishakha Devi, Shri Ruprati Manjari, etc. And along with them, I would also like to submit my most respectfully prostrated homages unto the lotus feet of their divine lordships, Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shri Shri Nityananda Prabhu, along with their transcendental perpetual entourage, such as Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, and all the 6 Goswamis of Shri Dham Vrindavan. Finally, I would also like to pay my obeisances and submissive due respects unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, Abhaya Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has, being an adept, very artistically and skillfully propagated the doctrine of Krishna consciousness imbued with pure devotional transcendental sentiments and moods throughout this world in this present modern era in a most unique and fantastic, unprecedented, enchanting way. Conclusively, I would also like to offer my obeisances and due respects unto the initiating spiritual master and the preceptorial spiritual masters, along with all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord present herein, especially unto the lotus feet of His Grace Paradhe Prabhu, very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And thereafter, I would now like to commence the context of our discussion, especially the proposed topic of Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, alias the Nectar of Devotion, compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. As we were discussing in our yesterday's session about the glorification of Srila Rupa Goswami, who is the author, who is the compiler of this most unique treatise known as Nectar of Devotion. And we just covered the prelude to the glorification of Srila Rupa Goswami. We had not actually entered and we had not actually probed deep into the profound depths comprising the factual glorification of Srila Rupa Goswami. We just covered the background or the introductory part of his glorification. So, as we were discussing yesterday, in order to understand the factual position of Srila Rupa Goswami, and why is understanding the position of Srila Rupa Goswami very important, very significant, and very essential to us? Because unless and until we understand the factual position and the ontological position of the author of any spiritual transcendental book, we will fail to understand. Until that time, we will fail to grasp the actual import of that spiritual transcendental literature. Because the same principle has been implemented by Lord Shri Krishna. Lord Shri Krishna has declared to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter that Bhakto asime sakha cheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. O Arjuna, because you are my dear friend and devotee, for that sole reason am I imparting this transcendental divine science unto you. These sermons, these divine sermons, this transcendental doctrine of Bhagavad Gita, this transcendental gospel, these instructions, these precepts, why I am imparting those precepts to you? Because you are my devotee and my dear friend. So, in order to understand the factual import of Bhagavad Gita, now one has to perceive Bhagavad Gita, one has to understand Bhagavad Gita, one has to comprehend Bhagavad Gita in the way, in the manner that Arjuna had understood it. Because Arjuna was devotee and friend of Lord Shri Krishna. So, regarding any type of transcendental instruction or any type of divine literature propounding transcendental instruction or transcendental science, we need to understand both those who have compiled that literature and that literature itself. So in this case, in the case of Srila Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we have to understand the position of the author first, then we can understand the book. Just like in the case of Bhagavad Gita, we have to understand the hearer, the listener of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, and then we can actually understand the import of Bhagavad Gita. So now, Srila Rupa Goswami, his ontological position is that he is one of the eternal and most intimate associates of their Lordships Shri Shri Radha and Govinda Dev in the eternal pastimes of Vraja or Vrindavan Leela. And as we were discussing yesterday, there are three types of associates. There are three types of associates or parshadas or parikaras who are serving their divine lordships, the divine couple of Vraj, Shri Shri Radha and Shyam Sundar in the eternal pastimes. Now, there are three types of pastimes. There are two types of dhamas. First, we have to understand the dhama tattva, then we will understand the lila tattva, then we will understand the parikar tattva. We first have to understand the factual nature of Shri Krishna's transcendental abode and his realm, the place where he performs his pastimes and his divine deeds and supernatural exploits. That place we have to understand first, then we will be able to understand the pastimes which are taking place and the nature of those pastimes and the multifarious diversities prevailing those pastimes, and then we will be able to understand the nature and the diversities prevailing the domain of the many different types of associates that are existing in those transcendental pastimes, and then we will be able to ascertain in which category is Srila Rupa Goswami Pad falling within, and then we will be able to understand the factual ontological position of Srila Rupa Goswami, one of the most intimate associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Krishna, who is Krishna himself. So, there are two types of dhamas. There are two types of abodes where Shri Krishna performs his pastimes. First, the abodes of Shri Krishna which are seen on this mundane platform, which are seen located and which are seen and perceived situated within this earthly domain, are known as Bhauma-dhamas. Bhauma-dhamas. Bhauma-dhama means, Bhumi means earth planet or Prithvi Lok. So the Dhama, the spiritual abodes of Lord Shri Krishna and his various incarnations, which are situated on this earthly planet, are known as Bhauma-dhamas. As for example, Lord Shri Ramachandra, who is an expansion and incarnation of Shri Krishna, his transcendental abode is known as Shri Ayodhyapuri. And that Ayodhyapuri is situated on the earthly domain, and that is also known as Ayodhyapuri, but that is considered Bhauma-dham. Then the various different incarnations of Lord Shri Krishna also have their respective dhamas or abodes on this earthly domain. Especially Shri Krishna has three dhamas on this earthly domain. The first and the most significant and the most exalted of all his dhamas is known as Vrajmandal or Vrindavan Dham. which has a circumference of 168 miles or 84 kroshas. That Braj Mandal or Vrindavan Dham is known as the one of the most is known as the most exalted dham of Shri Krishna. And then after Vraj Dham or after Vrindavan Dham comes the Mathura Dham or Mathurapuri. That is the second abode where Lord Shri Krishna has performed his pastimes, and he has displayed and he has enacted his transcendental pastimes. Then the third Dhama that Lord Shri Krishna has accepted is Dwarkapuri or Dwarka Dham. And all these three Dhamas pertaining to Shri Krishna are situated on this earthly domain. And these Dhamas are known as Bhauma Dham. Then there is second category of the same Dhamas which is situated in the transcendental sky. Now, as we were discussing yesterday, there are three types of planets. Actually, there are three types of worlds. The first is known as the first and in which we are situated within. This first type of world is known as material mundane world, also known as Jad Prakrita Jagat, because material nature comprising of the three modes Sattva, Raj and Tam, goodness, passion and ignorance, has manifested this material world in manifold ways. That is why this material world is known as Prakrita Jagat, or that world which has emanated from Prakriti or material nature. Now, this is known as material world. In material world, there are innumerable universes. There are innumerable universes. Within each universe is known as Brahmanda. Why Brahmanda? Because Anda, Brahmanda is a compound word. The term Anda means an egg, oval-shaped egg. And the word or the term Brahma means Brahmaji. The Chaturmukh Brahma, or the Brahma who is the son of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who is Adi Kavi, who is the first progenited living entity, and who is Swayambhu, who is self-manifest or manifest from Garbhodakshai Vishnu without need of any mother or without the regular seminal process or conjunction of mother and father, conjunction of parents. Without the conjunction of parents, Brahma has become manifest. That is why he is known as Swayambhu or self-manifest. So, Swayambhu Adi Kavi Brahma, who is the first created living being of this universe, and who is the Pitamaha, who is considered to be the grandfather of this universe, and who is also considered Vidhata, who is considered the regulator of the destiny of all the living entities situated within this universe. That Brahma, the Brahma is the highest predominating deity, the most powerful predominating deity of this whole universe. There are other predominating deities, but those predominating deities are only predominating over the respective planets to which they have been assigned. Just like Indra. Indra is predominating only over Amravati Puri, which is his own planet, which is comprising one of the many different planets found within heaven or Swarga or paradise. So, like that, different demigods, different devatas being empowered by Shri Krishna are known as Adhikrita devatas, and all these demigods of various types are presiding over many different types of planets found within each universe. But Brahma is the presiding, predominating deity. He is the Adhishthatri Devata of the whole universe taken together aggregate. That is why Brahmanda means the egg or the universe or the egg, the universal egg which is presided over by Brahma. That is the literal meaning of the word Brahmanda. Brahmasya anda iti Brahmandaha. So, there are innumerable Brahmandas or universes in this whole material world. Within each universe, there are 14 planetary systems, 7 downward, Sapta Adholok, and 7 upward, Sapta Urdhvalok. And within the 7 upward planetary systems, the first is the earthly planet, and then come the heavenly planets, Satyalok, Maharlok, Janalok, Tapolok, and finally, at last, the most exalted planet of this universe is known as Satyalok, the place where Brahmaji resides. Now, there are 7 downward planetary systems known as Patal, Talatal, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Rasatal, etc., which are known as netherland planets, filthy planets. And then after those 7 downward planets, then comes the 28 different types of hellish planets. So, in total, the whole Brahmanda has 7 upward, 7 downward, then hellish planets, then different constellations, stars, galaxies, and 9 types of planets, Navagrahas, known as Surya, Chandra, Shukra, Guru, Shani, Rahu, Ketu, etc. Venus, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, etc. So this whole combined together is one universe. Like this, there are innumerable universes just within the material world. Just within the Prakrita Srishti or the material world, there are innumerable universes like this. Now, what comes on top of Brahmaji's planet? On top of Brahmaji's planet, which is the highest planet located in this universe, starts the covering of the universe. Just like an egg. Egg has a covering on top of it. So the shell or the covering part starts. And the covering is of 8 types. The first covering is the covering of earth element, Prithvi Tattva. Second covering is the covering of water element. Then the covering of fire. Then the covering of air. Then the covering of ether. Then the covering of 3 subtle elements, mind, intelligence, and ego. Each covering more, 100 times more expansive than the preceding covering. Each covering more expansive than the preceding covering. So, like this, there are 8 coverings, and after those 8 coverings are crossed or surpassed, one comes to Karan Sagar, Karan Samudra, the causal ocean, also known as Virja Nadi. That is the marginal world. That is the place where the material world ends and the marginal world starts. So, in the material world, now material world means innumerable universes like this. Some universes have 4-headed Brahma, some universe has 5-headed, some has 6-headed, some has 100-headed, some has 1,000-headed, some has million, trillion, billion, and likewise. It depends upon the size of the universe. The more bigger the size of the universe, the more heads the Brahma of that particular universe possesses. So our universe is not so big, that is why our Brahma only has the 4 heads. But our universe, the actual measure of our universe is 50 crore yojanas. Length and 50 crore yojanas, length and breadth. That is the only measure of our universe. Now the thing is, all these innumerable universes combined together, clumped together, are known as material world. As soon as one comes out of this material universe, one comes to the causal ocean, and on that causal ocean, on the water of that causal ocean, on the surface of that causal ocean, all these innumerable material universes are floating, and they look just like small sesame seeds. And when one arrives at causal ocean, at that time he perceives Karanodakshai Mahavishnu, the first Purush incarnation, who is the aggregate Paramatma, who is the aggregate super soul of the whole material world, and that is known as marginal world. And after crossing the marginal world, one comes to spiritual world, and the covering of spiritual world, just like the covering of the material universe, are earth, water, air, mind, intelligence, ego. Likewise, the covering of the spiritual world is Nirvishesh Brahma Jyoti, the impersonal effulgence or radiance emanating from Sri Krishna's transcendental personal form known as Brahma Jyoti. That Brahma Jyoti, that divine halo, that divine golden halo is the covering of the spiritual world. When one penetrates into that covering, Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasyapi Hitam Mukham, that mantra of Ishavasya Upanishad. Oh Lord, please remove this divine halo from your face and reveal your real personal identity. So, this Nirvishesh Brahma, Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanta Koti, Kodeshvashesha Vasudhadi Vibhuti Vindam, Tad Brahmanishkalamananta Mashesha Bhutam, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma has prayed to Shri Krishna, O Govinda of Vrindavan, O Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, I adore you, the primeval form of Godhead, and your mere radiance emanating from your personal form is known as this Brahma Jyoti. So after one crosses Brahma Jyoti, start the Vaikuntha planets. Vaikuntha means where there are no miseries, where there are no distresses of any type, where there is no birth, death, old age and disease, where there is no Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, where there are no 3 types of miseries, Adhidaivik, Adhyatmik and Adhibhautik, where there are not the 4 types of karmas and the karma phalas, the actions and the results of those actions. What are the 4 types of results of actions? Prarabdha, Prarabdha, Kut and Bij, where there is no entanglement in 8,400,000 species of life. That place is known as Vaikuntha, without any kuntha, kuntha vihin iti Vaikuntha, without any type of misery. That is known as Vaikuntha, where there is no material misery to be found. So there are many different types of Vaikuntha planets, but the most central part, the centralmost region of Vaikuntha planets, there are many different types of Vaikunthas. In some Vaikuntha, Narasimha Deva is situated along with his consort and along with his associates, foremost being Prahlad Maharaj. And then Narasimha Deva is also of many different types. The Narasimha form, Shanta Narasimha is there, Ugra Narasimha is there, Padmavati Narasimha is there, Rama Narasimha is there. There are many different forms of Narasimha Dev. Each form of Narasimha Dev also has a separate planet, a separate group of associates, and a separate consort. So there are many different types of Vaikuntha planets according to many different incarnations the Lord has undertaken, and according to the many different forms of those incarnations. Like Narasimha incarnation also has many different forms. So, but the centralmost part of the whole Vaikuntha planet region is known as Mahavaikuntha, is known as Paravyom, where Mahanarayan resides. And Mahanarayan has 400 form, conch, disc, mace and lotus flower, and is served by Lakshmi Devi, is served by Vishwaksen, Sunanda and all these other associates, and he is guarded by Jai and Vijay, etc. So in this Mahavaikuntha, where the Mahanarayan resides, that's the centralmost region of Vaikuntha planet. Encircling Mahanarayan and the Mahavaikuntha are situated 4 deities in the celestial domain. And those 4 deities are chronologically, sequentially known as Vasudev, Sankarsana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. These are the 4 deities. Bhagavatam also says, Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Aniruddhaya Namah Sankarshanaya Cha. So, these are the 4 deities. They are also Vishnu forms. They are also forms of Narayan. They also have Chaturbhuj or 4 heads, and they are also holding conch, mace, disc and lotus flower, Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padmadhari, Chaturbhuj Roop. But they are holding these 4 weapons in a different sequential order than each other. That's what makes them different. So these are known as the second quadruple expansion, the Dvitiya Chaturvyuha. These Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, they are known as second quadruple expansion or the Dvitiya Chaturvyuha. And this second quadruple expansion and the 4 deities found within this second quadruple expansion, they are located in 4 different nooks and corners of Mahavaikuntha. Mahanarayan is in the centralmost part of Mahavaikuntha, and on the northeast side, on the northwest side, on the southeast and on the southwest are situated these 4 deities. Ishan Kon, Vayavya Kon, Agneya Kon and Nairitya Kon. These are the 4 corners. So in the 4 corners are situated Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. And between is Mahanarayan and Mahavaikuntha. And these Vasudeva, Sankarsana etc. are known as second quadruple, Dvitiya Chaturvyuha. Now this second quadruple, now from this Mahanarayan emanates, expands Karanodakshai Mahavishnu, the first Purush incarnation. Then from Karanodakshai emanates Garbhodakshai, then from him emanates Kshirodakshai. Likewise. So now the second quadruple expansion in turn emanates from the first quadruple expansion, Pratham or Adi Chaturvyuha, found within Dwarka. So beyond the Vaikuntha planets, even higher than Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual world, where Maya doesn't prevail, where Mahamaya, the material nature doesn't prevail, where only Yog Maya prevails, the spiritual internal potency, in that spiritual world, beyond Vaikuntha, higher, transcendental to Vaikuntha, are located Ayodhyapuri, is located Ayodhyapuri, but there Ayodhyapuri is known as Saket. Now, Ayodhyapuri has Shri Ram, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, and Shri Sita, Shri Ramachandra, Hanuman, and all the other associates. Then beyond this Saket or Ayodhyapuri is located Krishna Lok. And Krishna Lok has 3 different divisions: Dwarka, Mathura, and Vrajbhumi Vrindavan. And parallel to Krishna Lok is located side by side, juxtapositionally speaking, side by side, parallel to this Krishna Lok is located another planet of equal importance known as Shvetadvip. And this Shvetadvip, just like there, Ayodhya is not known as Ayodhya. There, Ayodhya is rather known as Saket. Saket is the alternative terminology used for Ayodhya in the transcendental world. In the same way, in the transcendental world, the place where Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incarnates on this earthly domain known as Mayapur Navadvip Dham is not rather known as Navadvip, but is rather known as Shvetadvip. So Shvetadvip is juxtapositionally situated very parallel to the Krishna Lok. And that is Shvetadvip is our Navadvip, where Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu along with his associates, the Panch Tattva and the 6 Goswamis and the 64 Mahantas and the 12 Gopalas, Dwadash Gopalas of Nityananda Prabhu, like Gauridas Pandit, Hridaya Chaitanya Vakreshwar Pandit, etc., they are all situated there. Along with his whole entourage and associates of Vishnu Priya, Shachi Mata, everything, Swarup Damodar Rai Ramanand, with all these associates, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is situated in Shvetadvip, and right next to Shvetadvip is Krishnalok, which is again divided into 3 chambers, Golok, Vrindavan, Mathura and Dwarka. Now, the thing is, this is the transcendental world. Now in transcendental world, there is Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwarka and Shvetadvip and Ayodhya. All of these planets which are found in the transcendental world also have their replicas within the material world, within each universe of material world, within each earth of each universe of material world. Because there are innumerable universes in material world, and within each universe of material world, there is one earth planet. Earth is located, is present in each universe. Sun, moon, etc. are located within each universe. So, within the earth of each universe are located Dwarkapuri, Mathurapuri, Vrindavan, Navadvip, which is the same as Shvetadvip, and Ayodhya, which is the same as Saket. So, these transcendental planets which are situated on the earthly domain, which are the replicas of those which are found in the original spiritual world, are known as Bhaumdham. So, now we have understood there are 2 types of dhamas, there are 2 types of planets. Some are situated in the spiritual world, and the same replicas of those are situated within the material. Now there are 3 types of leelas occurring in these 2 types of dhamas. There are 3 types of leelas or pastimes of the Lord occurring in these 2 types of holy abodes. Within the Bhaumadham, 2 types of pastimes occur, and within those holy abodes which are present within the spiritual world occur only 1 type of pastime. Now we will see how. In the Bhaumadham, just for example, just only take the example of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is present in the spiritual sky and also in this material sky. So the Vrindavan which is present in the material sky on this earthly domain, in this Vrindavan, 2 types of pastime are taking place. The first pastime is known as Prakat Leela, and the second type of pastime is known as Aprakat Leela. What is Prakat Leela and what is Aprakat Leela? Prakat Leela is known as, literally speaking, literally defining, it is known as manifest pastime. Prakat Leela means manifest pastime, and Aprakat Leela means unmanifest pastime. So these 2 types of pastimes are occurring within the Bhaumadham, those holy abodes which are situated in the material sky. Then, in the holy abode which is situated likewise in the spiritual sky, only 1 type of Leela is existing, and that is known as Aprakat Leela. The Aprakat Leela, or the unmanifest pastime, is existing within the abodes found in the spiritual sky, and manifest and unmanifest 2 types of pastimes are occurring within the abodes found in the material sky. Now, for example, when Shri Krishna Chandra came here with his entourage and associates 5,300 years before, at the end of Dwapar, when Shri Krishna arrived here, at that time, Shri Krishna stayed, he inhabited on this earthly domain for 125 years in total. And within those 125 years, 11 years and 52 days, Shri Krishna inhabited in Shri Vrajbhumi Vrindavan Dham. In many different parts of Vrajbhumi, like Barsana or Brihat Sanu, that's the original name for Barsana, Brihat Sanu, Nandagram, Gokul, Mahavan, Vrindavan, etc. Then he left for Mathura. Mathura, even though found within Vrajmandal, is not considered part of Vrajmandal. It's considered different. Now, in Vrindavan Dham, Shri Krishna stayed for 11 years, 52 days. Whatever pastimes he performed during that time in Vrindavan are known as Prakat Leela or manifest pastimes. When Shri Krishna left for Mathura, after 11 years and 52 days, when Shri Krishna left for Mathura upon being called by Akrur and Kans, and then he never returned back, at least for some time, at least for 100 years. Padma Puran has the story that he also returned after 100 years or so. But he never returned back until 100 years. So after that he left Vrindavan, he also performed pastimes in the same Vrindavan. Even though his manifest form was not there, his unmanifest form was performing pastimes in Vrindavan. Because both the Krishna Yamal Tantra and the Padma Puran are stating that Vrindavanam Parityajya Padamekam Nagachati, Shri Krishna never places a foot outside Vrindavan Dham, and Vrindavanam Parityajya Sakvachin Naiva Gachati. That Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, not even at some time. Shri Krishna doesn't leave Vrindavan even at some time. That means Shri Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Kvachit means sometimes. Sometimes he leaves. No, not kvachit, not even sometimes. Kvachin naiva gacchati. He never leaves, not even sometimes. So, based on these two Shastra Pramans, scriptural evidences found in Krishna Yamal Tantra and in Padma Puran, it is understood that Krishna is always present in his unmanifest form in Vrindavan Dham, even though in his manifest form he might be leaving Vrindavan for Mathura. So, even after that Krishna left for Mathura, he was performing his pastimes in Vrindavan Dham. Now, so there is, and even now when Shri Krishna is not present in a manifest way, in a pragat way, even now these transcendental pastimes with Nand, Yashoda, with Lalita, Vishakha, Srimati Radha, all are taking place every second in this same Vrindavan Dham, which is seen by our unaided, mundane, apparent vision. Yes, by the Prakrita Chakshu, by the material eyes, the Vrindavan that we are beholding, in the same Vrindavan Dham, all these pastimes are still happening, but we are not able to see them. So, these pastimes which are occurring are known as a Pragat Leela, found within the Bhaum Vrindavan. Then Pragat Leela found within the Bhaum Vrindavan, and then a Pragat Leela or unmanifest pastimes found within the spiritual Vrindavan Dham located in the spiritual sky. So in this way there are three types of Leelas. Two types of Leelas are found within the mundane, the Vrindavan Dham found within the material sky, and one type of Leela is found within Vrindavan Dham found in the spiritual sky. So there are three types of pastimes, and then again these pastimes are divided into Swarasiki and Mantropasana Mai type. Swarasiki Leela and Mantropasana Mai Leela. So that makes six types of pastimes. A Pragat Bhauma Leela of two types, Swarasiki and Mantropasana Mai. Pragat Bhaum Leela also of two types, Swarasiki and Mantropasana Mai. And a Pragat Chinmay Paravyom Leela also of two types, Swarasiki and Mantropasana Mai. So in total there are six types of pastimes that Shri Krishna performs simultaneously speaking. Now, because there are six types of pastimes, there are six types of associates of Shri Krishna and six forms of associates of Shri Krishna and six forms of Shri Krishna himself. Shri Krishna is present within the unmanifest Swarasiki pastime of earthly Vrindavan. Shri Krishna is present within unmanifest Mantropasana pastime of earthly Vrindavan. Shri Krishna is present within Swarasiki manifest pastimes of Vrindavan. Shri Krishna is present within the Swarasiki unmanifest pastimes of earthly Vrindavan. Then Shri Krishna is present within the unmanifest Swarasiki pastimes of the spiritual Vrindavan, and Shri Krishna is present within the Mantropasana unmanifest pastimes of the spiritual Vrindavan. In this way, there are six types of pastimes, and each pastime has a different form of Shri Krishna and a different group of his associates. How? Like, Srimati Radhika is present within the Vrindavan found in the spiritual sky in the Mantropasana Mayi Leela. The same Srimati Radhika is also present within the Swarasiki Leela found within the unmanifest pastimes of the spiritual Vrindavan. In the same way, all the associates like Srimati Radha, Lalita, Vishakha, Nand, Yashoda, Shridam, Subal, Madhumangal, Shri Krishna, everything is expanded into six places. Because in Golok Vrindavan also there are two chambers. One chamber is for Swarasiki Leela, another chamber is for the Mantropasana Mai Leela. So there are now Shri Krishna also expands himself into six forms. His associates also expand themselves into six forms. Now, his associates are again of three types: Nityasiddh, Kripasiddh and Sadhanasiddh. Now we are coming to the point. What is actually Rupa Goswami? Who is actually Rupa Goswami? Nityasiddh, Kripasiddh and Sadhanasiddh. So Sadhanasiddh are the products of marginal potency. They are the Jivatmas, one of us, one of the living entities like us. They are known as Kripa Siddha. And Sadhana Siddha are also the products of marginal potency, living entities, one of us. But the Nitya Siddha Parshadas are, ontologically speaking, not the products of marginal potency. They are the products of internal potency of Sri Krishna. And now we already know the relation of internal, marginal and external with Sri Krishna in yesterday's session. Now we know what's the par excellent position of the Nitya Siddha Parshadas. So the Nitya Siddha Parshadas are known as eternal associates. They have never performed sadhana. They have never practiced devotional service as means to enter into the eternal pastimes of Sri Krishna. They have never performed, they have never undertaken devotional service as a means, as sadhan, as a means to enter into the divine pastimes of Sri Krishna. Why? Because from the very beginning, they are always in the divine transcendental pastimes of Sri Krishna. They have never come to this material world. They have never fallen down within this material world like the living entities who are the products of marginal, like the Jivatmas. Because they are the products of internal potency. As we explained yesterday, the male associates of Nitya Siddha type come from Balram, and female associates of Nitya Siddha type come from Srimati Radhika. So, all the eternal associates of the Nitya Siddha type, they are the products of internal potency, even though they come to this material world in order to assist Shri Krishna in his Pragat Bhaum Leela and his Apragat Bhaum Leela. But they have become influenced by the material nature. But the conditioned living entities, the Nitya Baddha Jivatmas, who are the products of marginal potency like us, they are in this material world bound by the shackles of illusion and nescience, avidya. So, the eternal associates of Sri Krishna, the Nitya Siddha Parshadas, they never have to perform sadhana. They never have to perform devotional service or bhakti as a means to enter into the eternal pastimes of Sri Krishna. Why? Because they are always there from the very beginning of their existence. But if we want to enter into the pastimes of Sri Krishna, then we have to perform sadhana bhakti or devotional service as means to enter into that leela. But they don't have to perform. That is why if we after becoming liberated enter into the eternal pastimes of Vrindavan Dham, then we will be considered sadhana siddha parshadas. But they are never considered sadhana siddha. They are always nitya siddha. And there exists always eternal line of demarcation, segregating, separating, differentiating the nitya siddha shreni, the nitya siddha category, and the sadhana siddha and kripa siddha categories. Why? Because the previous background of these categories are tainted. Okay, sadhana siddha may be in Shri Krishna's eternal pastimes now. He may be in Shri Krishna's eternal pastime now. He may be reciprocating with the Shri Krishna in the same way that the eternal associates of Nitya Siddhas are reciprocating. But still, there is a line of separation between them. Why? Because the sadhana siddha parshada, what is the previous background? He was bound within the material world, and he was averse to Shri Krishna for trillions and billions of years. Now he has entered into Vrindavan, and the others, they have never come into the material world. So the previous background still remains tainted. And that is what, and apart from this difference, another difference is the previous history or background remains tainted. And apart from this, another difference is the eternal associates are products of internal potency, whereas the sadhana siddha and the kripa siddha are the products of marginal. That is also ontological difference also exists. Yes. Now, the thing is, what is kripa siddha parsha? We have already explained sadhana siddha, we have already explained nitya siddha. What is kripa siddha? Kripa siddha is also product of marginal potency, one of us, one of the jivatmas, bound in this material world. But sometimes, due to the causeless mercy of Shri Krishna or his devotees, due to the causeless mercy of Shri Krishna or his devotees, sometimes, very rarely, it is seen that a conditioned living entity, without the performance of sadhana bhakti, and without passing through the stages of Shraddha, Sadhusang, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, etc., without passing through the systematic process laid down by Sri Larupa Goswami Bhagavad Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of attaining prem, Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sango, Atha Bhajana Kriya, Tato Anartha Nivritti Syat, Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tatah, Tatha Saktis Tato Bhavah, Tatah Prema Bhimanchati, Sadhakana Mayam Premana Pradurbhavi Bhavet Kramaha. This is the sequential and systematic organized way how the prema bhakti develops by the performance of sadhana bhakti. Rupa Goswami is saying. So the 10 stages have to be passed. But sometimes due to the causeless mercy, due to the exceptional, now most of the cases are not exceptional, they are normal cases. They are the cases of sadhana bhakti and sadhana siddha parshadas. But some exceptional cases where Shri Krishna or his devotees, when they bestow the causeless mercy on any conditioned living entity, and without that conditioned living entity performing sadhana bhakti, immediately becomes uplifted to the level of prema bhakti and immediately attains Shri Krishna's Nitya Leela and Nitya Dham and becomes his associate, that living entity is known as Kripasiddha Parshad. That living entity is known as Kripasiddha. But he is still product of marginal potency, yes, and his background history is still tainted as the sadhana siddhas. So both the sadhana siddha and Kripasiddha, they can never actually come to the stage of Nitya Siddha. Because ontologically they are different and their previous backgrounds are tainted. So they can never equal the Nitya Siddha Parshada, no matter how much at present they are equal to the Nitya Siddha Parshadas in serving Shri Krishna. They might be parallel to each other, but still due to these two differences which cannot be erased. You cannot erase the previous background and the previous history, and you cannot erase the ontological position of being marginal. Because of these two unerasable, cannot be rubbed or cannot be erased. Because of these two unerasable differences, the Nitya Siddha Parshadas always are considered to be situated and occupying the par excellent position in the spiritual world. But even though they are occupying the par excellent position, there remains no segregation in their dealing, in the dealing of the Nitya Siddhas towards the Kripasiddha and the Sadhana Siddhas. They are not biasly or prejudicingly behaving towards the Sadhana Siddha and the Nitya Siddhas. No, they are not abusing them, they are not exploiting them, they are not behaving in a biased and prejudiced mood. That's no, the behavior, they are reciprocating in a completely equipoised and with equal vision. It's not that, oh, because you are Sadhana Siddha or Kripasiddha and because I am Nitya Siddha, you are of inferior level, you cannot talk in front of me. No, these things are not happening there. But the differences still remain. You cannot erase the differences. That's the point that I'm making right now. So now these are the three types of associates, and the two types, the two types, Sadhana Siddha and the Kripasiddha, are products of marginal, and the another type, the third type, Nitya Siddha, is the product of internal potency. Now Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, he is what type of? He is Nitya Siddha, Kripasiddha, or Sadhana Siddha? He is Nitya Siddha. What type of Nitya Siddha? He is Nitya Siddha Parshad of Vaidhi type or of Raga type? Because there are two types of bhaktis, there are two types of devotions, Vaidhi and Raganuga. So it is said that in all the different types of Vaikuntha planets, whether they belong to Narayan, Ram, Narsingh, Vara, Matsya, Kurma, etc., it doesn't matter. Within all the different types of Vaikuntha planets, Aishwarya, or the mood of all reverence, majesty and opulence, Aishwarya Gyan, is found 100%, and the mood of sweetness, Madhurya Gyan, is found 0%. In Ayodhya, we are talking about the Vaikuntha planets. In Ayodhya, Aishwarya Gyan is found only 25%, Aishwarya Gyan is found only 75%, and Madhurya Gyan is found only 25%. Then in Dwarka, Aishwarya Gyan is 50%, Madhurya Gyan is another 50%, mixed. In Mathura, Aishwarya Gyan is 25%, Madhurya Gyan is 75%. In Vrindavan, Aishwarya Gyan is 0%, Madhurya Gyan is 100%, with 100% Madhurya and 100% Aishwarya. Now, people will be confused. The audience will be confused. You are saying Aishwarya Gyan is 100% not there, and then you are saying 100% Aishwarya is there. What's the difference? There is difference between Aishwarya Gyan and Aishwarya, and there is difference between Madhurya Gyan and Madhurya. Sweetness is a substance. Because of sweetness existing, the mood of sweetness arises. The mood of sweetness, the conception of sweetness is known as Madhurya Gyan, and the sweetness itself is known as Madhurya. And because of the presence of opulence, Aishwarya, Vaibhav, Vilas, because of the presence of majesty and opulence, the mood of majesty arises. That is known as Aishwarya Gyan, and Aishwarya Gyan is dependent upon Aishwarya. If Aishwarya is not there, Aishwarya Gyan will not be there. But in Vrindavan, Aishwarya is there 100%, but Aishwarya Gyan is not there. 100% opulence is there, but that opulence, because of the presence of Madhurya, becomes completely charmed by Madhurya and loses its potency, and fails to produce the mood of majesty, the mood of awe and reverence, that is the Aishwarya Gyan. Aishwarya is there 100% in Vrindavan pastimes, but fails to produce the mood of opulence. Opulence is there, but fails to produce the mood of opulence. Although opulence is there, it is not able to produce the mood and the sentiment of awe, reverence, majesty and opulence. Aishwarya is there, but the Aishwarya Gyan is not there. And here, Madhurya is there 100%, and Madhurya Gyan, Madhurya Bhava is there. Sweetness is there, and the mood of sweetness is also there. So, 100% Madhurya is there, 100% Aishwarya is there. But Madhurya, which is found in the equal amount as the Aishwarya, there is no question that, oh, he was in more amount than me, that is why he overpowered me. No. This argument cannot be used. Somebody can say, there are 3 people attacking me, that's why I had to defeat in the wrestling match. No. Aishwarya cannot whine, or Aishwarya cannot argue like this. Why? Because Aishwarya is in the same amount as Madhurya in Vrindavan pastime, but still Madhurya overpowers Aishwarya, and that's why Aishwarya fails to produce Aishwarya Bhav, whereas Madhurya succeeds in producing Madhurya Bhav. Yes, that is why the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have excavated a very unique Siddhanta. The different previous Vaishnava Acharyas like Ramanuj, Madhva, Nimbark and Vishnu Swami, they said that Bhagavan, and even Shankaracharya, they all said that Bhagavan means one who has par excellent Aishwarya or opulence. But this definition is not accepted by the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They said, especially Rup Sanatan and Jiva Goswami, they said Bhagavan is that who has such type of Madhurya or sweetness which makes the Aishwarya completely feeble and completely impotent. So, this is the definition of Bhagavan accepted by the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Vaidhi and Ragatmika. There are 2 types of devotion or bhakti. So those who are performing Vaidhi bhakti, they will go either to Vaikuntha planets, or to Ayodhya, or to Dwarka, Mathura, etc. But those who are performing Raga bhakti, they will attain Vrindavan pastimes of the Lord. Now, the Vrindavan pastimes of the Lord, which are only attainable by the performance of Ragamayi bhakti. Now there are 2 types of Ragamayi bhakti. There are 2 types of devotional practices on the level of Rag. Only through Ragamayi bhakti you can attain Golok Vrindavan. That's the first law. Chaitanya Charitamritam, it is said by Krishnadas Kaviraj that Vidhi Bhakti Vrajbhav Pahite Nahi Shakti Aishwarya Shithil Prem Nahi Mora Preet. By that love, which is slackened by the mood of opulence, awe and reverence and majesty, I am not captivated as much as I am captivated by the devotion which is completely imbibed and imbued with the mood of sweetness. And then he says, with the devotional service of the Vaidhi type, no one can ever come to Golok Vrindavan or the Vrindavan Vraj pastimes. So, by the performance of Vaidhi Bhakti, one can never enter into Vrindavan Leela, only through the performance of Ragamayi Bhakti. Now, Ragamayi Bhakti is of 2 types, Ragatmika and Raganuga. Ragatmika Bhakti is only reserved for the internal Ragatmika Bhakti is only reserved for the Nitya Siddha Parshadas forming the eternal associate category who are the products of internal potency.
What is Raga?
Raga is known as Ishte Swarasiki Raga, Paramavishtata Bhavet, Tanmaya Bhaveti Soft Ragatmikodita, Sthai Bhav Prakaran. Ishte Swarasiki Raga, Paramavishtata bhavet tanmayi ya bhaved bhakti satra ragatmika. So Ishte means in the desired, dearmost object. And what is the only desired and dearmost object? Shri Krishna of Vrindavan. He is the Aradhya. He is the Ishta. He is to be worshipped. He is to be desired. He is the dearmost object of his devotees. So, Ishte Swarasiki Raga. In the desired, most cherished object of the heart, the spontaneous love or raga that one has in his heart, and which is full with trishna, which is full with longing of serving him, is known as raga. And the devotional service which has that raga, which is completely permeated or pervaded with this raga, is known as ragatmika bhakti. I will not go in an in-depth explanation of this definition of ragatmika, because then it will take 3 hours only to explain this verse. This is just a synopsis, only the definition, the literal translation. So this ragatmika bhakti, now ragatmika bhakti is only reserved for Nitya Siddha Parshadas. Why? Because raga itself is internal potency. And the eternal associates, Nitya Siddha Parshadas, they are products of internal potency. What do we mean? There are innumerable eternal associates of Shri Krishna or Nitya Siddha Parshadas in his Vrindavan Leela. And as many Parshadas there are, as many Nitya Siddha Parshadas there are in Vrindavan Leela, that many type of raga or love for Krishna are existing. That many type of love for Krishna are existing as there are Nitya Siddha Parshadas. जितने नित्य सिद्ध परिकर हैं वृंदावन लीला में, उतने ही श्री कृष्ण प्रेम के विभाजन किए गए हैं. श्री कृष्ण प्रेम भी उतने रूपों में प्रकाशित होता है. श्री कृष्ण प्रेम or love for Krishna, especially of the raga type, not of the Vaidhi type, the love for Shri Krishna of the raga type expands itself into that many forms as there are the eternal associates of Shri Krishna in Vrindavan. What do we mean? Love for Shri Krishna, just for example, there are 1000 different types of love for Shri Krishna in Vrindavan pastimes. So those 1000 different types of Krishna Prem will personify themselves into the 1000 eternal associates of Shri Krishna. Don't think that Srimati Radhika is just having Madanakhya Mahabhav. Radhika's special love for Krishna is known as Madanakhya Mahabhav according to the Ujjwal Nilmani of Rupa Goswami. The special love that Srimati Radhika has for Krishna is known as Madanakhya Mahabhav. This type of love no one else has. Only Srimati Radhika or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Except for these two, no one else has Madanakhya Mahabhav. So, Madanakhya Mahabhav is the name for special love that Srimati Radhika has for Krishna. Now, don't think that Srimati Radhika is endowed with Madanakhya Mahabhav, or that she possesses Madanakhya Mahabhav, or that she has this Madanakhya Mahabhav, or that she contains this Madanakhya Mahabhav. No. She is not Madanakhya Mahabhav Yukta. Then, she is Madanakhya Mahabhav Mayi. She is herself Madanakhya Mahabhav. This is what we mean by Ragatmik Parikar, the Nitya Siddha. She herself is Madanakhya Mahabhav. Because as we explained yesterday, all the sentiments in the material world do not have personalities. In the material world, if somebody is angry towards some other person, then his anger will not manifest in a personal form, undertaking a special personality. No, that's impossible in the material world. Why? Because the material sentiments are themselves jad. They are themselves unconscious. How can they become manifest into personal forms and personalities? But in the spiritual world, now yesterday's discussion is very much helping us. Now we are seeing the connection. But in the spiritual world, all the transcendental sentiments, and love is one type of sentiment. So Madanakhya Mahabhav, which is one type of love that Srimati Radhika has for Krishna, also when Madanakhya Mahabhav becomes manifest into a personal form, it turns into Srimati Radhika. Yes. Srimati Radhika is nothing separate from Madanakhya Mahabhav that she might be considered containing Madanakhya Mahabhav. Just like a pot is containing water, then the pot is considered different from water. No. She is Madanakhya Mahabhav herself. She is not Madanakhya Mahabhav Yukta, she is Madanakhya Mahabhav Vati. Just like the pot is made up of what? The clay, or the mud, or the soil, or the earth element. In the same way, Srimati Radhika's transcendental form and her personal body and her transcendental medium-sized icon, is made up of nothing but Madanakhya Mahabhav. That's why there are very detailed explanations on that. So why I gave this example? Because Srimati Radhika is also Ragatmik Parikar. See, she is also Nitya Siddha Parikar. And Ragatmika Bhakti is only reserved for the Nitya Siddha Parshadas. It's not for the Kripa Siddha and the Sadhana Siddha. The Kripa Siddha and the Sadhana Siddha are only on the level of Raganuga. Raganuga, not on the level of Ragatmika. So, the Nitya Siddha Parshadas are themselves personalities of different types of Krishna Premas that are existing in the spiritual world. The Ragatmika associates, whether it be Srimati Radhika, Lalita, Vishakha, Rup, Rati, Manjari, Shridam, Subal, Madhumangal, Raktak, Patrak, Chitrak, Nand, Yashoda, anything, all these Ragatmika Parikaras, all these eternal associates, Nitya Siddha Parshadas of Krishna in Vrindavan Leela, they are nothing but manifest personalities, manifested personal forms of different types of Krishna Anurag or Krishna Prem or loves for Krishna that are existing. Different types of love for Krishna, when they transform themselves into personal form, then they turn into Shridam, Subal, Madhumangal, Nand, Yashoda, Radhika, Lalita, Vishakha, etc. But because Krishna Prem is also internal potency, and the Ragatmik Nitya Siddha Parshadas are also internal potency of the same ontological category. But what happens to the marginal? When the Sadhana Siddha and the Kripa Siddha, when they enter into Vrindavan Leela, they are not internal potency, ontologically speaking. They will always remain marginal. So what happens? They become connected with the internal potency. They themselves do not turn into internal potency. They become connected with the Krishna Prem, but they themselves do not turn into Krishna Prem. The Ragatmika Parikaras are themselves Krishna Prem, different types of Krishna Prem. But the Sadhana Siddha and the Kripa Siddha Parshadas are not different types of Krishna Prem. They are just having or containing different types of Krishna Prem within their heart. That's the difference. Just like fire is pervading the iron rod. Iron rod may have all the qualities and functions of fire because of the unification. But still iron rod cannot be called fire 100%. It still remains iron rod. In the same way, marginal still remains marginal. Whereas the eternal associates of Shri Krishna are nothing different from the different types of Krishna Premas that are existing. That is why they are known as Ragatmik Parshada. Ragatmik means one who is Raga himself. One who is Raga himself. One who is Krishna Prema himself. That is Ragatmik Parikar. So, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad is Ragatmik Parikar of what type? Ragatmika Bhakti is of two types. Ragatmika and Kamatmika. And because Ragatmika Bhakti is of two types, the Raganuga Bhakti, which is following Ragatmika Bhakti, is also of two types, Raganuga and Kamanuga. Ragatmika and Kamatmika, Raganuga and Kamanuga. Now, the Leelas or the devotional service in Vrindavan, which is performed on the stage of Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras and Vatsalyaras, is known as Ragatmika Bhakti. And the devotional service which is performed on the stage of Shringar or the conjugal love in Vrindavan is known as Kamatmika Bhakti. By the eternal associates. Now, by the Sadhana Siddha and the Nitya Siddha, by the Sadhana Siddha and the Kripa Siddha associates, the devotional service which is performed in Vrindavan on the level of Shant, Dasya, Sakhya and Vatsalya is known as Raganuga. And by the Sadhana Siddha and the Kripa Siddha associates, the devotional service which is performed in Vrindavan on the level of conjugal love is known as Kamanuga. Kamatmika and Kamanuga, Ragatmika and Raganuga. That's the matching corresponding parts. Now, Srila Rupa Goswami is not Sadhana Siddha or Kripa Siddha. He is Nitya Siddha. That is why he is certainly not Raganuga or Kamanuga. He is also not Ragatmika, he is Kamatmika, because he is serving in conjugal mood Shri Radha and Krishna. Now Kamatmika also has two different divisions. According to Jul Nirmani of Rupa Goswami, Sambhog Echatmika and Tattad Bhavechatmika, Srimati Radhika and Shri Chandravali, the two prime heroines of Vrindavan pastimes, prime Naikas or heroines, have the mood of directly uniting with Shri Krishna. That is why they are known as their devotional service, their prema is known as Sambhoge Chatmika Priti. But the Manjaris or the maid servants of Srimati Radhika, they do not want to directly unite with Shri Krishna, but they are taking happiness. They are experiencing paramount bliss in uniting Srimati Radhika with Shri Krishna. That is why they are known as Tattad Bhave Chatmika. So Srila Rupa Goswami, being the foremost chief in charge of innumerable millions and trillions of manjaris or maid servants of Srimati Radhika, he is the Yutheshwari. Rupa Goswami is the Yutheshwari. Rupa Goswami, he is known as Rupa Manjari in Krishna Leela. And in Krishna Leela, because he is Rupa Manjari, she is in charge. Rupa Manjari is in charge of all the millions and trillions of different types of manjaris, whether those manjaris are of Nitya Siddha type or of Sadhana Siddha or Kripa Siddha type. He is the chief leader. So Rupa Manjari is the foremost among all the manjaris possessing the Tattad Bhave Chatmika type of Kamatmika love for Shri Krishna. And it has been described that the love, that the happiness, the transcendental bliss Shri Krishna experiences when he is not present with Srimati Radhika or with his associates, that transcendental bliss is of normal type. That is known as Swarupanand. But when Shri Krishna is united with his associates in Vrindavan, the transcendental bliss that he feels is millions of times more than the transcendental bliss he feels when he is all alone by himself. Because the transcendental bliss that Krishna feels when he is with his devotees or associates is known as Swarupa Shakti-Anand. But the transcendental bliss that when he feels when he is all alone as Atmaram, Aptakam only, then that Anand is known as Swarupanand. That is the difference between Swarupanand and Swarupa Shakti-Anand. So Shri Krishna, when he is present with Radhika, the bliss he feels is 1,000 times more than the bliss he feels when he is all alone. Swarup Shakti-Anand is much more condensed than the Swarupanand. Now, the bliss that Srimati Radhika feels when she is in union with Shri Krishna, direct physical union with Shri Krishna, is million times more than what Shri Krishna feels when he is in union with Radhika. This is what Krishnadas Kaviraj, Kasturi Manjari in Krishna Leela, he has all written in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because he has all seen all this practically. So who can doubt him? So Krishnadas Kaviraj writes, the bliss Radhika feels is 1,000 times more than the bliss Krishna feels, and the bliss the Sakhis like Lalita, Vishakha and the primary companions of Srimati Radhika, they feel is million times more than Srimati Radhika, and the bliss the Manjaris or the maid servants of Srimati Radhika feel is million times more bliss than the Sakhis like Lalita, Vishakha feel, and all the other associates in Vrindavan on the Vatsalya Bhav, on the Dasya Bhav, on the Sakhya Bhav or on the Shanta Bhav, the bliss that they feel is certainly lower than the bliss Srimati Radhika or his Sakhis or his Manjaris are feeling, because those rasas, those mellows are inferior to the Shringar, to the conjugal. And the bliss, the different associates and devotees of Shri Krishna in Dwarka and Mathura are feeling is certainly not as much condensed as the bliss that the devotees of Shri Krishna are feeling in Vrindavan pastime. Because Dwarka and Mathura are considered inferior to Vrindavan in terms of rasa shastra. And the bliss the devotees of other incarnations like Ram, Narayan, Matsya, Narsingha, Kurma, etc. are feeling in Narsingha Lok, Ram Lok, Vaikuntha Lok, etc. is certainly more inferior than the bliss the associates of Dwarka or Mathura are feeling. So in this way, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad is the chief leader of the Manjaris or the maid servants of Shri Krishna in Vrindavan pastimes, and because of this, he is actually considered one of the most Bhagyashali. Bhagyashali means one of the most fortunate type of associates of Shri Krishna existing in the spiritual world. And when this Shri Rupa Manjari, when she incarnates simultaneously, she is in Krishna Leela and she is in Gaur Leela. Because Chaitanya Chandra is not an expansion of Krishna, not an incarnation of Krishna, he is Krishna himself without any doubt. He is not like first quadruple, second quadruple, like Ram, Narayan, Matsya, Narsingha, etc. But he is Shri Krishna himself. Shri Krishna of Dwarka? No. Shri Krishna of Mathura? No. Shri Chaitanya Chandra is Shri Krishna of Vrindavan. And wherein is this substantiated? This is substantiated in the Markandeya Puran and also in the Garud Puran. In the Garud Puran, Shri Vyasadeva has written in Garud Puran, which is one of the 18 Puranas, योरे मे सह बल्लवी रमयते वृंदावने अहर्निशम् यह कंसं निजधान कौरवरणे यह पांडवानां सखा सोऽयं वैष्णव दंड मंडित भुजः संन्यास वेशः स्वयं निःसन्देहमुपागतः क्षितितले चैतन्य रूपः प्रभुः. That Shri Krishna at the end of Dwapar, who performed his sportive pastimes and his erotic and aesthetic dalliances with the cowherd damsels and maidens of Vrindavan. That Shri Krishna, who upon entering the arena of Kansa in Mathura, killed Kansa. And that Shri Krishna, who became the charioteer and servant of Arjuna and all the Pandavas during the Mahabharata war in the Kurukshetra. That Shri Krishna certainly, undertaking the form of a sannyasi and holding the Vaishnava Danda, the sannyasa Danda, has now, without any doubt, arrived or come to this mundane platform, Kshititale, Nisandeham Upagatah Kshititale, that Shri Krishna certainly has without any doubt come on this earthly domain as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nisandeham Upagatah Kshititale, Chaitanya Rupa Prabhu. That is what Vyasa has written in the Markandeya, in the Garuda Puran, and there are more than 80 different evidences that the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya has, which clearly prove, which very directly and transparently prove, without any scope of indirect interpretation or without any scope of indirect interpretation, which very directly prove that Shri Krishna and Srimati Radhika combined together are Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radhika and Krishna combined, and Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Sakhi, and Rai Ramanand is Vishakha Sakhi, and Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. So, Rupa Goswami has, because Gaur Leela, Chaitanya's form and Radha Krishna's form are simultaneously existing. They are as eternal as each other. They are as beginningless as each other. These both forms are existing from time without beginning, and they are as old as each other. Now, Shri Chaitanya's Leela and pastimes are also eternal, and Shri Krishna's pastimes are also eternal. So, Rupa Manjari, who is present in Krishna's Vrindavan Leela, is also present as Rupa Goswami in Krishna's Gaur Leela. So when Gaur descends onto this mortal platform and performs his Pragat Gaur Leela in Navadvip, at that time Rupa Manjari comes down as Rupa Goswami, and that Rupa Goswami, one of the most intimate associates of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the writer, is the author of Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the nectar of devotion. Thus, we have become completely acquainted with the ontological position and with the nature of Shri Rupa Goswami and with the far excellent position of Rupa Goswami. It is said by our acharyas that in the conjugal pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna, even the Sakhis like Lalita, Vishakha, etc. are somewhat hesitant to enter. But in the dark and dense groves of Vrindavan Dham, the Nibrit Nikunj, where Shri Krishna performs his Leela with Srimati Radhika very amorously in the dead of midnight, at that time, Sakhis like Lalita, Vishakha, etc., they feel hesitant, but Manjari is headed by Rupa Manjari and Rati Manjari. They don't feel hesitant. They have full access to all the intimate pastimes of Srimati Radha and Shri Krishna Chandra. That is why Manjaris are the most fortunate, because they are beholding all the pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. Nothing is unseen, unheard or unexperienced by the Manjaris. That's why the position of Manjaris, and especially the position of Rupa Manjari being the chief leader of all the Manjaris, is the par excellence in the Vrindavan Leela of Shri Krishna. That is why among all the associates of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the position of Rupa Goswami is par excellent. That is why Narottam Das Thakur says in his Prema Bhakti Chandrika, Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Hakadam Hyam Dadaki Swapadantikam. When will Shri Rupa Goswami Pad place his lotus feet on my head, who has fulfilled the innermost desire of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And that's why Krishnadas, that's why Raghunath Das Goswami also says in Mukta Charitra that Adadana Strinam Dantairidam Yache Punah Punah Srimad Rupa Palam Bhoja Dhunisyam Janma Janmani. When will Shri Rupa Goswami Pad make me or place me as a particle found within the foot dust attached to his lotus feet? That Rupa Goswami, unto him I take shelter of him in a very submissive and humble way by placing straw in my mouth in a very submissive way. Adadana strinam dante hidam yache punha punah, and I request Rupa Goswami that sometime he should make me a single particle found within the foot dust attached to his lotus feet. So, and Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, when he disappeared on the morning of the 1st December 1937 in Jagannath Puri Dham at 5 a.m. At that time, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj, he requested as his last desire, he requested his devotees who were present at that time, he requested his devotees to sing, he requested his disciples to sing the song written by Narottam Das Thakur in Bengali, Shri Rupa Manjari Pad Sei Mora Sampad Sei Mora Bhajan Pujan. Only the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami are everything for the followers of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are religious activities, dharma, they are prescribed duties, karma, they are bhajan, pujan, they are life, soul, pran, they are everything. They are everything. The lotus feet of Rupa Goswami is the only wealth for the followers of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why all the different acharyas or the transcendental preceptors who have come after Rupa Goswami in this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya have all claimed their allegiance back to Srila Rupa Goswami, because all these acharyas coming after Rupa Goswami are known as Rupanuga acharyas, means the staunch follower of Rupa Goswami, and Srila Prabhupada were writing the nectar of instruction, Upadeshamritam, which is book of Rupa Goswami, while translating that book, in the introduction of that book, Nectar of Devotion, in the very beginning, the first paragraph of the introduction of that book, Srila Prabhupada has written that actually the real in charge of this Krishna consciousness movement begun by me is Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. So now we can understand the real position of Rupa Goswami as being the foremost acharya of the whole sampradaya and as being the fulfiller of the innermost desire of Shri Gaurasundar Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Do we have time for question answers?
One question.
I have one question.
Yes.
And I think we should, in respect of people, some people need to go home.
Yes.
So we should have the arati, and then we can have a full question and answer.
Okay.
After Prashadam, those who want to stay on and really are keen to find out answers to questions.
Tomorrow is holy day too. Only very few. Oh, very few. Schools are open actually, so all the kids.
Yeah. It's mainly because of the kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can have private question answer session after the arati takes place.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
After Aarti?
No. Let him ask.
I have one question, quick one.
Afterwards, we are staying with you.
Those
So
with the partial
yes,
cannot come here or?
they can come. They are coming. Rup Manjari comes as Rupa Goswami, and Rup Manjari also comes as Rup Manjari, both at the Pragat Krishna Leela and during the Pragat Gaur Leela. Yes.
Is there a proportionate amount of innumerable Nitya Siddhas there? Are they in greater quantity than sadhana Siddhas or fallen souls?
That I have no answer, because that detail is not mentioned in so far any scripture that I have seen. But we cannot say anything whether they are in more quantity or in less quantity than the Nitya Siddhas. That only a Nitya Siddha or a Sadhana Siddha or a Kripa Siddha who is coming again to the earthly domain for in order to assist Krishna's or Chaitanya's pastimes, only that person can answer who is coming from there. We don't know the exact ratio and the proportion.
When you're saying 75% Ishwarya Bhav, 80% Raganu, how do you figure those percentages?
These percentages are figured by the acharyas who are coming from Krishna Leela. That's why they are unchallenged percentages. They cannot be challenged.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So everything is mentioned in the books of the acharyas who are the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Rup Sanatan, Vishwanath, Raghunath, Das Goswami. Whatever books they have written, everything is mentioned there.
Maybe way of saying it?
Yeah, it's just a rough idea in one sense. Okay.
Also, last question is before we do Arati,
Yeah.
is that Srila Prabhupada in starting this ISKCON movement has brought Krishna consciousness, which was otherwise unknown, all over the world.
Yes.
So he's engaged us in sadhana,
Yes.
and I don't think we've seen any evidence of any Kripa Siddha devotee in
Yeah.
ISKCON. But we have everybody is engaged in sadhana for sure.
Yes.
But considering that one lifetime is of 60, 70, 80 years, and Prabhupada has given his guarantee that he will take such a devotee who remains fixed in devotional service back,
Yes.
back to Godhead.
Yes.
Is that not in and of itself, kripa? Because, what is our value in terms of our service? And how much can we really attain pure love of Godhead in such a short duration of time?
Yes.
It's
It
really
is-
a master
it is-
kripa siddha in a sense.
Yes. It is Kripa Siddha.
Yeah.
But there is still one difference. Now one can say that this is also Kripa Siddha, but the Kripa Siddhas that we generally talk about are found in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Like it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita that wherever and whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through any village or any town, and whoever just saw him once, immediately got Prema Bhakti, the treasure of prema, without the need of performance of sadhana. So they are the Kripa Siddhas that we generally talk about, but this is also considered one form of. But you see, the thing is, in sadhana siddha also, the kripa is needed. Because without kripa, sadhana can never become perfect. That's the law of bhakti, that's the law of devotional science, that even though you may perform sadhana, without having kripa of Guru, Vaishnavas and Bhagwan, you will never be able to attain prema as the fruit of sadhana. So, I think this is still sadhana siddha that you are talking about. It is, because when Srila Prabhupada is giving assurance that I will take everyone, all of my disciples, and whoever comes and takes, connects to my parampara, I will take them back to Godhead, back to Krishna Lok. It is, I think, still his, it's sadhan bhakti. It's not considered kripa siddha, because even in the sadhan bhakti, kripa is needed. But that's different from the kripa siddha, because kripa siddha doesn't have to perform sadhan bhakti even for one day. He just becomes Kripa Siddha on the very first day that he meets. But the Kripa Siddha, now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is Krishna, if he performs, if he thinks that let this living entity become Kripa Siddha, then that living entity will immediately attain Prema Bhakti. But suppose if a pure devotee of Sri Krishna, who is not Godhead himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, he is God himself. But suppose a pure devotee of Sri Krishna, like Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is not Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada is not God himself. He is rather just a devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord. He is Mahabhagavad. So if a pure devotee of the Lord, who is not God himself, if he wants to make some particular living entity into Kripa Siddha, then he can only bring that living entity on the level of Bhava Bhakti immediately, but not on the level of Prema Bhakti. This is all written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrit. It's a book written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it has also been translated by Sarva Bhavan Prabhu, and it is available in our Krishna Balram ISKCON temple in Vrindavan. So that in Chaitanya Shikshamritam, it is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur that if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna, because the other incarnations of Krishna are not able to give Vraj Prem. As we discussed yesterday, Rupa Goswami said, Santu Bhava Avataraha Pushkar Nabasya Sarvato Badraha Krishnadapi Kuopi Lataswapi Premado Bhavati. Other incarnations of Krishna are not able to give the Vraj Prem or the love of Vrindavan, the Raganuga Bhakti. Only Sri Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are able to give. Now, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna wants to make somebody Kripa Siddha, he can immediately give that person Prema Bhakti of Vrindavan, the Raganuga Prema Bhakti. But if a pure devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna wants to make someone Kripa Siddha, he can only uplift that person up to the level of Bhav, not to the level of Prema Bhakti. Only Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can do that. So, Srila Prabhupada, who is Mahabhagavat, who is one of the pure devotees of, one of the most influential acharyas actually, not just pure devotees, one of the most influential acharyas of our sampradaya, because he is not Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can only uplift a conditioned living entity on the level of Bhav Bhakti without the performance of sadhana. But if a devotee who is on, now we are talking about those devotees who are on the level of Prema Bhakti. So both the Nitya Siddhas, both the Sadhana Siddhas, and both the Kripa Siddhas, all of these three are on the level of Prema Bhakti. Once you become Siddha, you are considered on the level of Prema Bhakti. Until you are on the level of Prema Bhakti, you are not to be considered Siddha of any type. If you are on the level of bhav bhakti, you are not considered either kripa siddh, nitya siddh or sadhan siddh. Only if you reach the level of prem you can be considered siddha. So Prabhupada is nitya siddha. He is not sadhan siddha or kripa siddha. But he is nitya siddha, but he is not Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he cannot uplift anyone immediately to the level of Vraj Prem or Prema Bhakti. He can only uplift that person onto the level of Bhav Bhakti. Now, if somebody who is on the level of Bhav Bhakti, if some devotee who is on the level of Bhav Bhakti, if he wants to make somebody into, immediately perfect, then that person whom he wants to make immediately perfect can only be uplifted to the level of Asakti, which is the last stage of Sadhan Bhakti. Asakti is the last, you see, Sadhan Bhakti starts from the very first stage, Shraddha. Shraddha, then Sadhu Sang, then Kriya, then Nishtha, then Anarth Nivritti, then Nishtha, then Ruchi, and then Asakti. After Asakti, Sadhan Bhakti stage gets completed and the Bhav Bhakti stage starts. And after Bhav Bhakti, the Prema Bhakti. These are the three stages of devotion or Shuddha Bhakti. Now, up to the stage of Asakti, that's the seventh stage, beginning from Shraddha. Up to the stage of Asakti, Sadhan Bhakti continues. So, if a Bhava Bhakta, devotee who is on the level of Bhava Bhakti, if he wants to make somebody immediately perfect in devotional service, he can only uplift that person up to the stage of Asakti. Now, if a devotee is on the stage of Sadhan Bhakti, if he wants to make somebody uplift, he can only bring that person, he can only arise, he can only make the seed of devotional service, that is Shraddha, arise in the heart of that living entity. Yadi sadhan, not in Hindi, let me speak in English. If a devotee on the level of Sadhan Bhakti, if he wants to bestow kripa, he can only uplift the conditioned living entity and make him enter into Sadhan Bhakti by giving the seed of Shraddha into that living entity's heart. If a devotee is on the level of Bhav Bhakti, and if he bestows his kripa on a living entity, that living entity can immediately, without the performance of other stages, he can immediately be uplifted to the stage of Asakti. If a devotee is on the level of Prema Bhakti, and if he bestows his kripa, he can immediately uplift a living entity onto the stage of Bhav Bhakti. But if it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna, they can immediately uplift a living entity to the stage directly of Prema Bhakti. Not to the Bhav, not to Asakti, or not to Shraddha, the seed of Sadhan Bhakti, no. So, but that right is reserved only for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and for Sri Krishna, for no one else. And not even other incarnations like Ram, Narayana, etc. They are not able to give this Vraj Prem. So that is the par excellent position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whoever saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even without reciprocating with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even without talking to him, whoever saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he immediately got Vraj Prem. Even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not looking at that person, even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu might not be looking at that person, but that person once saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, still he got Vraj Prem. This is written by Srinath Kaviraj Goswami. So that is the perfect example of Kripa Siddha. And yes, if Srila Prabhupada wants to make someone Kripa Siddha, he can at least bring that person to the level of Bhav Bhakti without that person's performing Sadhan Bhakti as a prerequisite requirement. So that power the Mahabhagavatas have, but still it is not compared to the power that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or that Sri Krishna has. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Prabhu. Now we'll have the...
Very long discussion today. I apologize for this, length of the class. Hare
That's
Krishna.
all right. Hare